Honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops at Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect on the highways and hedges pushing the truth. It's your brother Rabbi Nat coming out with a lesson, Lord's will, satisfying. Of course. All right. So let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Got some articles I want to get into. Okay. Actually, maybe I should start over here with Esau, man. It's a good person to start with. Look at this damn devil right here. Oh. That's Esau. Oh man, it's not allowing me to trying to hold the image. That's Esau right there. He's being accused of killing 2 people in Salem, Massachusetts, man. Damn Edomites living in the woods, you know. But you know, we know you black women, y'all see somebody like that, y'all think that's a good-looking man. That's a damn devil right there, man. Okay, so Salem, Massachusetts, a man is being held without bail after 2 men were found dead in a wooded area in Salem, Massachusetts, and that's just only about 30 minutes around where I'm from, man. Where I'm at. All right, and I'm out here all the time, man. I talk to some of these homeless people, and they be telling me all types of crazy shit, man. I spoke to this bug-out lady one time. She told me she found a human hand somewhere, just on the street. Okay, so that's Massachusetts, man. The blue state. Police were called after a man discovered one of the bodies while walking his dog in the area near a Walmart store just before 2:30 p.m. Wednesday, the Essex County District Attorney's Office said, and that's Essex County, man. You walking by a Walmart, you walking your dog along, and you stumble across a dead body. Hey, how you doing, man? You stumble across a dead body, man. There's gonna be more of that going on here in Babylon. Watch out, there's a serial killer in this area, man. A few new details about the incident were revealed at Blodgett's arraignment Thursday morning in Salem District Court, though the facts of the case have been sealed until May 28th, when the murder suspect is due to have a probable cause hearing. What's the problem? Why'd you do it, sir? He didn't do it. He did it because he's a damn Edomite, man. That's what Esau is. He's fucking profane. He's not upright. The soul that's in him is not right. He's wrong, man. Okay? He was created to be this way. All right? As a matter of fact, let's start over there. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 7 and 13. This is Esau we're talking about, man. You got to keep... A lot of people, you see him. There was a chick in Milwaukee. She found some dude. She thought she was cool. He brought her into the woods and cut her to pieces. So we're warning you, man. We're warning you that Esau is on a rampage. He got a short time. There's a lot of spirits out here. The Lord's not playing. Grab this. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 13. It says, "Consider the work of the Most High, for who can make that straight which he have made crooked?" Yeah, who gonna make Esau straight if the Lord made him crooked? Okay, he was made to be this way, man. All right, to beguile you, bring you into the woods, man, and put you to death. That's the spirit that's in the Edomite. He has no problem. Here it is. His people are in rulership. He has no problem living in the forest. That's his natural state. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 25, in verse number 27. "And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field." Exactly, he was a man of the field, man. So he has no problem being in the woods, hiding with a propane tank, cooking his burgers every damn day, eating squirrels and tricking them into traps, and eating rodents and shit like that, just to survive. And he'll have fun doing it, setting up traps, eating birds, pigeons. Okay? They found this dude in the woods. That's Esau, man. All right? Plenty of other scriptures exposing this devil. This is his innermost thoughts. This is how he is. This is how the Lord created him to be. Okay, this isn't hate. This isn't. This is just how he's. This is his manufacturing. You know, when you buy something to fix a table or something, you buy a table to give you the details on how to put the instruction manual. This is Esau. Habakkuk 2:4. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, which means he's proud, is not upright in him. Exactly, it's not upright. It's not righteous. He's a wicked man. Okay? And he was created to be the wicked. Wherever he's at, hey, they call that the border of wickedness. Okay? Scriptures call him the vile person, the violent man, the serpent. This is that guy. And they don't want to give you any information about him. They're going to say they're going to wait for May 28th that he's supposedly killed 2 people. Okay? But you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you kill somebody, they put you all over the front page. May 28th, by the time we get to there, there's mad shit going on in the world. You ain't even going to be thinking about this damn devil. Okay? That's why it's important it be brought out. Because this is who you live around, especially if you're here in the Boston area. This is the book of Malachi, chapter 1. You know, police force. As a matter of fact, the police here are saying don't say anything about it. Even though there's been an uptick in the deaths by women, don't say nothing about that. Malachi 1:4. Now, I'll start at the top. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Lord, yet I loved Jacob. And I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. Exactly, man. He gonna have indignation forever for this devil, man, because he created him to be that way. Okay? Let's keep reading this article. It says a few new details about the incident were revealed that Blodgett, that's that defendant's name, Esau, arraignment Thursday morning in Salem District Court, though the facts of the case have been sealed until May 28th when the murder suspect is due to have a probable cause hearing. So we got to wait for the details, okay? The bodies appeared to have blunt force trauma and stab wounds, a prosecutor said, adding that they were hidden in the woods by various items. Exactly, man. Stab wounds. That sounds like an Edomite's way to put something to death. Especially when you read the book of Genesis, the 27th chapter, and it tells you, Genesis 27:41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing, wherefore his father blessed him. And Esau, Genesis 27:40. And by the sword shalt thou live, and shall serve thy brother Jacob. Exactly. And by the sword shalt thou live. Okay? They said this victim had trauma to the head and stab wounds. Okay? So here it is, a low-level Edomite living by the sword in the woods, like a hunter, like an Edomite. A prosecutor said, adding that they were hidden in the woods by various items, talking about those bodies. The investigation turned to Blodgett. The prosecutor didn't say why, and he eventually made a statement implicating himself. A not guilty plea was entered on behalf of Blodgett, who spake briefly in court, addressing the judge about his court-appointed attorney. So what did he say? We would like to know. There's a lot of missing women. They would want to know where their killers are. A lot of people are in their grave right now. There's somebody on the loose. Okay? Ultimately, it's not just him, man. It's all these Edomites, man. They got to pay for the sins they committed in their past lives, the lives that they live today, and the future sins that they're going to commit. Because the end isn't here yet. Okay? It ain't here yet, man. All right? It says police records show Blodgett was arrested last week after he allegedly broke into a storage container with a hacksaw after getting kicked out of the area he'd been living in, the woods near the Walmart on Highland Avenue. Exactly, man. Trying to going and shit, robbing, stealing. That's Esau, man. That's how he lives. He lives by the sword. He got a damn hacksaw. And just because he got a shaven beard, you think that he's okay, and a snap-on jacket, you think that he works. And you women gonna fall for that, man. He gonna get your ass put to death. Okay? It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 10, verse 15. Shall the axe boast itself against him that heweth therewith? Or shall the saw magnify itself against him that shaketh it? As if the rod should take itself against them that lift it up? Or as if the staff should lift up itself as if it were no wood? Exactly, man. Imagine an axe. The axe don't have any power. It's the one that's wielding the axe that gives the axe the power that it has. If an axe is just left alone, it has no power. But this is just like Esau Edom. The Heavenly Father is using him as that axe. And the axe can't boast against the one who's holding it. And that's what he tends to do by speaking blasphemous words, thinking that he's going to rule this world forever, when that's not true. That's him boasting against the one who's handling him. Okay? This is the book of Psalms, chapter, I always get this too. Is it 18? Psalms chapter 18 and verse 18 and or is it 17? Let me see, 17. Let's check 17 real quick. Nope, that's not it. Psalm 18 maybe. I don't know why I can't see it. Let's just grab it off the phone, man. Let's grab it off the phone. Which is thy sword, man. Which is thy sword, KJV. Psalm 17. I was just there. How come I didn't see it? Psalm 17. Oh, okay. Salakia. Psalm 17 and verse 13. Arise, O Lord Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Exactly, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Okay? And that's Esau. That's the Lord's sword, and he's using him. He just caught two bodies right around the corner from where you live at. Okay? But you don't see any significance in repenting, coming back and serving your power. Okay? It's a rock. That's the Heavenly Father's sword, man. Let's read that again. Psalm 17 and 13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword, from men which are thy hand. Exactly, from men which are thy hand, which is his left hand, man. All right, and he set up Esau, that crooked serpent, that wicked spirit, to go out in the earth and bring forth his judgment. Okay. Which have their portion in this life, in whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. They are full of children, and leave the rest of their substance to their babes. As for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness. I shall be satisfied when I awake with thy likeness. Yeah, when we get those new bodies. Okay, but right now, we're subject to the flesh, and we can get put to death in the flesh. The best thing we can do is serve the Lord to the best of our ability, keeping these law, statutes, and commandments. Recognizing Esau for who he is, man. The damn devil. As a matter of fact, let's finish that article, because I got a couple more. Okay? It says that's where a man walking his dog found what appeared to be a body on Wednesday. When police arrived, they found a second body. Prosecutor said both of the victims were male. Neither has been identified. There was no indication the bodies involved the Walmart. A large police presence was seen in a taped-off area of the woods about 100 feet from one corner to the store. Now, they don't want to give you all the details. They say, we're going to wait for May 28th. We want to get, a hearing first. Okay? But I'm sure it's some more grievous shit, man. Blunt force trauma and stab wounds. I wonder what else was going on, man. Okay? Pieces of his brain missing, Esau, Maybe some of his, maybe part of his liver's missing. That's what these devils don't understand. That's what y'all don't understand. Okay? And that's him again. He already locked up. You ain't got to worry about him. But Esau's still running wild. Okay? Now, I want to get into what's going on in the world. That's Esau. As a matter of fact, I'm finished getting the precepts on him. Showing you that he's the damn devil. Showing you can't trust this damn serpent, this snake. Okay? Let's go to Hebrews 12 and 16. I had another Edomite all the way Michigan, the Michigan coach, man. Taking pictures of the boys and the girls, selling it. That's Esau. Y'all want to go into this? Y'all want to go into this football arena, man? Good luck. You're going to get molested over there. Hebrews 12 and 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For you know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected, for he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. Exactly. So he has no place of repentance, man. He can't repent. He's just that crooked, wicked serpent that's going to keep doing this wicked, evil deeds down here on the earth. He has nothing good coming to you. Just did a video about him begging Putin to stop bombing Kiev. These things are going to keep happening. Okay? These things are going to keep happening. You can get this in Jeremiah 13 and 23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin or the leper his spots? No. Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil? Yeah, can you do good that are accustomed to do evil? The answer is no. He can't do any good. And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly. Let me grab that. Okay. If he does good, he does it unwillingly. KJV, Sirach. What's that? Ecclesiasticus 14 and 7. And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly. And at the last, he will declare his wickedness. Yeah, at the last, he gonna declare his wickedness, man. Okay? Closer and closer we get to the end of this, he gonna show you that he's the damn devil. That he's here to fulfill everything the Lord said he was gonna do. Telling you he got a short time left, and he's gonna come down on you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Let me grab that in the book of Revelation, the 12th chapter. Okay. Revelation chapter 12 and verse 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman. The dragon represents Esau, Edom. And the woman represents the nation of Israel. And went to make war with the remnant of her seed. The remnant of her seed is talking about the elected Israel, who these videos are for, so y'all can wake up in the last days. And this dragon Esau went to make war with the remnant of her seed, but he don't know who the actual seed is. He don't know who the elect are. So he's just going to come and just slaughter, have a great slaughter. Which keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Yeah, the testimony of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach is the spirit of prophecy. Let's grab that. Revelation 19 and verse 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. You're going to be prophesying, man, if you had the spirit of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, man. All right? It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 4. And verse 16, it says, for they sleep not except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. Exactly, man. He probably couldn't sleep. All right? So he took two people out, and he was still around the murder scene. Doing what? What was Esau doing? And when you watch the article, they said he has $7,000 on him. They're asking him, how'd you get that money? He said he got it for panhandling. So he's all right with that. I don't even have 7 Gs right now, man. But he does, and he's living in the woods. That's Esau. Okay? Psalms 36 and verse 4. He deviseth mischief upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. Yes, he set up himself in a way that is not good. And you want to be around him. No, you got to stay away from him. You know, this world will tell you keep your friends closer and enemies closer. But the Bible tells you keep your enemies, stay away from your enemies. Sirach, KJV. Let's find that. What's that precept? Man, pop up. Hold on. I think it might be Sirach, the 10th chapter, in verse number. Let me go there. Sirach 10 and I don't even know where it's at, but he pretty much says the opposite of that, man. It might be 12, hold on. Hold on. I can't even think of the precept. Sirach 12 and 10, never trust thine enemy, for as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped away a looking glass. And thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. Exactly, man. You just like a rusty knife. You wipe it away, but that rust is going to come back. It's the same thing with Esau, Edom. And by you trusting him, you got to expect these type of things from him. He'll literally murder you in the woods. Set him not by thee, lest when he had overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Who would pity a charmer that is bitten with the serpent, or anyone such as come nigh wild beasts? Exactly. No one's gonna pity you. You want to hang around a devil and he bites your ass and put your ass to death. Hey, that's what you get, man. So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? Yeah. You want to be defiled with him in his sins? Who's gonna pity you? He that touches pitch shall be devoured therewith. Sirach 13 and 1. I'll grab it. He that touches pitch shall be defiled therewith, and he that have fellowship with the proud man shall be like unto him. Yeah, you want to be around him? Then hey, you're gonna get the same exact thing, man. Okay. I can't find that precept I was looking for, but Lord's will, it'll come to me. Okay. Because this is the same. That's a low-level Edomite, but that's Edomites overall. They're the wicked. They're the devils, man. Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in their power of their hand. Exactly, it's in the power of their hand. They were given this power by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, to bring forth wickedness and evil throughout the earth. Even a low-level Edomite will kill somebody and get away with it, man. All right? You got to stay away from these damn devils. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. That's what he did, man. He coveted your fields. He's in your land. He'll take it over. He'll figure out a way to attack your land and take whatever he wants. That's how he is. Okay, that's Esau. It's the book of Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 1. Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 16. For their feet run to evil and make haste to shed blood. That's Esau, man. That's his natural state. So him having a short time, he's going to bring forth all of his lust. And he lust over blood, children, all types of shit, man. Putting you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to death, that's all part of it. It's all part of the wickedness that he wants to unleash on you, man. He's gonna take it out on you. The Lord's gonna give him his full. He's gonna be able to live out his full blessing, which is the sword. He's gonna take it by the sword, man. So how are you gonna get away from all of this calamity if you don't have the power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai? He's the one who put power in his hand, so he can take it away. Okay. So that's Esau. And he just put this woman to death. Jeffrey Epstein's accuser. He just put that woman to death. Okay. It says, oh, that's. I don't even know if I can get it. So long story short, he bombed a port in Iran. Okay. And that port, I got it right here. It says at least 18 people dead, 800 others injured in port explosion in Iran. Okay, now Iran in the Bible are known as the Persians. And it's prophesied that the Persians and the Medes are going to take down Babylon and those Israelis. Okay? And right now they're in the process of building a nuclear bomb. Okay, they're trying to go nuclear. And their allies, which are the Persians, are known as the Medes in the Bible. In these different events that you're hearing about in the news with this peace deal agreement that America's trying to make peace with them, but at the same time, their port gets bombed. Just like Duck just sent his a representative over there to Russia to talk about peace, and then Putin's general gets bombed. So they talk peace, but inwardly they got war, and the war was in their heart. Let's grab that. Okay. What's that? Smooth lips, but war was in his heart. Yeah, yep. Psalms 55. Let's grab that. Psalms 55, I'll start at 20. He had put forth his hands against such to be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant. Yeah, he put his hands at such that be at peace with him, man. That's what he does. Oh, you'll be talking peace. And then he'll do something behind your back. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. That's his smoother than butter, man. Yeah, listen, man, we don't want no more war. Let's just come up with a ceasefire. You know, there's 5,000 people a week are dying in Ukraine. Stop, Vladimir. Vladimir, stop. You know, he'll say things like that. His words are smoother than butter. But war was in his heart. Yeah, his war was in his heart, man. That's why he bombed. You know, there's no proof of this. But this is the devil. Okay? He kills the general, but he's talking peace. He kills, blows up your port, but he's talking peace. When he went to go see North Korea, they went from nuclear on his ass, man. They don't want to meet with this devil, man. Because they know this is his program, man. He's telling lies. He's trying to figure out a way to destroy you. You letting him near you. It says never trust thine enemy. Because as iron rusted soul, this is wickedness. But you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the last ones to understand that he's the devil. The rest of these nations understand that. Okay? And he's going to be coming down with great wrath, and you're going to be fighting for him. Okay? But we're making our call on an election short. Because the elect of Israel, hey, man, they're not going to be like a lot of these other men. I don't think people really understand what being an elect is. The elect is going to come with persecution. We just read, man. Okay? Some of them are going to go to jail. Some of them are going to be prepared for these things. And a lot of them don't even believe anything's going to happen to them. They're just going to walk through it all, man. Nothing that, of course, the Lord's going to have you, but Peter went to jail. Everything that happened to Peter, best believe it can happen to you. You ain't nobody. Come on, man. And Peter is King David. King David is Moses. Moses got put to death, man. Okay? So what kind of mindset you got to have, man? You got to have that fear on you, man. You don't know what the Lord's got ahead of you. Antipas had to go through a brazen bull. Do you trust that no torment should touch you? Do you believe that he can open up a cell for you, get you out of any calamity? You're going to find out. The only thing I don't want to do is lose faith through any of it. So we built it up. You talking shit about Amalek, man. Amalek will put your ass to death. You got anti-Semitism laws coming, and we got to be ready for that. So when the police tell you can't preach the Bible anymore on the street corners, a lot of y'all, what are y'all going to do? Give up? Y'all gonna stop talking. You're gonna say, finally, man, I don't have to preach anymore. I can just go back to being a devil. Okay? What do you think this is? The famine of the words coming. That's not a good thing. What you think, gonna put the Bible down, that's it? You ain't gonna preach anymore? Nah, they preached, went to jail, got persecuted. People died over this, man. You don't think these spirits are the elect? Come on, man. You say this is the time of the Acts 2.0. Read the book of Acts. Stephen got put to death. He got stoned to death. Okay? So this is the times that we coming into, man. Read the book of Acts. I don't get that mindset that, oh, everything's going to be all right, man. I get the mindset that I better serve the Lord with fear and trembling. I need to get right with the Lord. I need to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of my ability. And using this fear, having that contrite spirit, and hoping that the Lord guide my steps wherever I fall. And I don't lose no faith in this, because faith is a gift. Okay? You can't do anything by your own might. All right? It's the book of Psalms 55 and verse 21. The words of his mouth are smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Exactly, they were drawn swords, man. And that's what's happening with this port explosion in Iran. Let me read a little bit about it. The mass explosion at the Sahad Raji port in the southern Iranian city of Bandar Abbas, which took place on Saturday, has significantly impacted the Iranian regime, according to the Benai Sabti, an expert in the Iran program at the Institute for National Security Studies. The port that blew up in the southern Iranian city was the most important port for the Iranian regime, Sati told Ma'arv on Sunday. Yeah, that's the most important port. So do you think that's a coincidence that this port got blown up? Some people do. They'll read this and not have any understanding and think it was just an accident. You know, somebody was in the wrong area at the wrong time and flicked his ash on a cigarette that was still lit. The head fell off. It hit something that was there and it blew up. But that's not the case. Okay? The ports have different strategic ways where they gotta, when they get things that are hazardous, they put them in different areas. Okay, they got different protocols that they have to follow to avoid these things. But when you got a regime that can put bombs in pagers, hey, anything, you can expect anything. This is a time of war. Okay, you need to know that. All right, as a matter of fact, let me grab that. Let me grab that in the book of Ecclesiastes. All right. Because a lot of Christians think, oh, it's just peace, 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 peace. And that's not the case. That Christianity is part of that wine of Babylon that everyone's drunk with. As a matter of fact, let's start there first. Jeremiah 5:51 in verse 7. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. Exactly, they're mad, man. They're drunken of the wine. They're drunken of the religions, of philosophies, and democracy, and the way to do things. They think it's the same way they should do it as Babylon. But look at Babylon. Now you can't even get married. Inflation is through the roof. Everyone's protesting, getting mad. Okay? And that's what happening throughout all the world. They're being mad. And now they're trying to separate from Babylon, setting up this BRICS nation. And people are starting to get mad about this because they've been drunk off westernization. So these tariffs and all these things, they like just agree with them. They look at their own governments like something's wrong. But they got to get out of that westernized mindset because it's only going to destroy them. And that's why the nation's mad. Okay? That's what we're starting to see here. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3. In verse 1, to everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. And that's what we're doing. We're plucking up that which is planted, which is a bunch of lies. Okay? A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. And that's what we're doing, building up the nation of Israel for these last days so they can endure to the end. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. Yeah, this is a time to be mourning. Okay? It's better to be in the house of mourning than in the house of mirth. Okay, this is the time for Esau to be rejoicing and being glad because he got a short time left. So he should be partying it up and enjoying the fruit of his wickedness, which is Babylon. He killed hundreds of millions of people to get Babylon to the state that it's in. Let him enjoy these clubs and stuff like that. You shouldn't be participating with him. As a matter of fact, there was a car crash in Vancouver. And I didn't even really get into it, but a lot of people died in that. Now, what were they doing? I don't know. But that's something you should be looking into. Okay? These big, huge groups of people make you a target. There's a lot of things going on in the world you got to be aware of. This ain't a time to dance, is what I'm trying to say here. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and 5, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to cast away. A time to rend and a time to sow. A time to keep silence and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. And this is a time of war. Okay? So you need to understand that. You need to understand that. And that's why these ports are being blown up. But if you believe that it was just an accident, man, you're in the wrong mental state. Okay? It says, he said the reason for the port's importance was not only because it was the largest port in Iran, but because the hub was used by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps to transfer weapons to terrorist organizations like Hezbollah and the Houthis. It was also used to illegally transfer oil to China. Sati added. So this port, they know, okay, these weapons are going from here all the way to the Houthis. Okay, who are the Houthis and Hamas and all that? Who are they funding? Who are they fighting up against, man? Babylon. Okay, they fighting against Babylon and Israel. Okay, so they blew it up. I don't know who blew it up. I wasn't in on the discussion to do it, but that's what happened. Various tankers operated there, and it says like it to illegally transfer oil to China too. So who knows, man? It sounds like it benefits Israel, and it also benefits America, because we got war with China right now. You know, in a tariff war, but we just found out through Zelensky that they got some Chinese operatives in the Russian-Ukraine war, as well as North Korean operatives in there too. Okay, which more reports are coming out about. So these are the smaller nations coming up against Babylon, the smaller nations coming up against Israel. Okay, various tankers operated there, disappearing and reappearing, essentially collecting oil from the port of bringing in goods that Iran needs. He said this location and this port were extremely critical to the survival of the Iranian regime. And they're tired of that Iranian regime. They think it's hostile. Okay? But they're trying to build up a weapon so they can protect themselves. Okay? Because it seems like Israel versus Iran, you know, European nations and NATO versus Russia, and America versus China. That seems to be the battleground. That seems to be the way they want to do this. Okay? And all these proxy militias. This thing's going on in Africa, India, and Pakistan. Different militia groups. Everywhere, man. This whole world's not at rest. It's not at peace. Okay? It says various tankers operated there, disappearing and reappearing, essentially collecting oil from the port or bringing in goods that Iran needs, he said. This location and this port were extremely critical to the survival of the Iranian regime. Sabti was hesitant about determining what the cause of the explosion was. Yeah, so they were worried about the cause of the explosion, but at the same time, they don't want to say who it actually was. They're scared to say that it was actually the damn Small Hat that bombed their port. Okay? Showing you that this devil's slick, man. Okay? Because if you don't say something, then your people are looking at you like, is this fake? Is this some type of conspiracy? Is that, why was it there? But then you gotta lie because you don't want your enemy to know what your next move is, how you're gonna take it. Okay? Showing you this is highly spiritual at the same time, man. Okay? I don't think Esau is so smart that he's very smart, but there's an aspect of it that just goes beyond human intelligence that just shows you that there's a spirit behind all of this. Okay? To implement an attack like that, for it to plan the shipment route, to get even deeper than that, the timing of it, and the supplies that were in that specific tanker when it happened, the intelligence of all of that coming to pass is beyond what they have, man, down here on the earth. Unless they know something, they got a spy. But even the spy, the only way to be successful on something like that, you would have to have 10 months in advance, year in advance. And that's at the minimum, I would believe. Setting up pagers and blowing them up, and, that's high level, man. That's high level. It said it is still very early to know whether it was an accident or deliberate sabotage, he said. Personally, I find it hard to believe it was sabotage, especially at this time, given the ongoing talks between Iran and the United States. That's that his words being smoother than oil or butter. But war was in his heart. Yeah, he's talking peace with them, but then at the same time his ports are being exploded. So this is the devil, man. Response to claims that the explosion was attributed to Israel, Sabti addressed the claims that the explosion was attributed to Israel, saying it is common for some Iranian regime-affiliated figures to blame Israel. The regime is officially retaining from doing so, possibly because it is not in their interest to do so at this time. See, it's not in their interest to just point the devil out for doing this, man. Because there might be some political backlash. There might be some things, man. Because he's talking peace with you, but then your port's being blown up. And, then your people might look at you somewhere different, showing you this is super highly spiritual. The things that are happening, man. Okay? It's super spiritual, man. That's why we got to remain in the spirit. We have to be spiritual and try to get out. Keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability, man. Okay? Seek the Most High, man. Sabti also remarked on the magnitude of the explosion, calling the damage very severe. Okay, so the Lord allowed this to happen ultimately because he's the one who's in control of all the events that take place down here on the earth. The situation there is very, very difficult. There are fatalities and hundreds of injured people at the scene. Some are comparing this explosion to the one that occurred in Lebanon a few years ago, which destroyed everything. So, see, it's showing you how intense this explosion is. Meanwhile, Kiev's getting blown up. And where's Zelensky at? He's all the way in Rome, hoping the Pope gets buried. Okay? Your capital city's being bombed, and your ass is in Rome. Your ass is running, man. Okay? So that's what's going on here. The situation there is very, very difficult. There are fatalities and hundreds of injured people at the scene. Some are comparing this explosion to one that occurred in Lebanon a few years ago. Of course, he added, it's not on the same scale, but it's still a very large explosion. Sabti said that the consequences of the explosion could be particularly serious if critical infrastructure were damaged. And they're saying there's some chemicals in there, in that toxic chemicals in that explosion in the midst, man. So that's a huge attack, man. They said anywhere from 18 people dead, 800 injured. And the account's going up. Okay, as time passed. All right, it says, Sati said that the consequences of the potential damage of the explosion, it says the section that exploded was extremely vital to the Iranian regime's survival, Sati said. I don't think it probably was, but hey, prophecy's on their side, man. So it don't matter what port you blow up, you don't know how far they are along in building their bomb, and they're way underground anyway. So if they had anything significant brought to a port, this is all probably propaganda that they're saying. This is probably how they're fighting the attack that actually happened against them, telling them how severe and devastated they are now from this attack. You know, only to combat this devil, man. Kind of going into his game, but in all actuality, hey, they're gonna be destroyed. Okay, and I'm gonna grab the precept after. It says, as a matter of fact, let me grab it right now. Isaiah 13 in verse actually it's not. Let me put Persian. Okay. Where is it? Just give me Daniel 5:28. It says, Perez, the kingdom is divided and given to the Persians and the Medes. But hold on, let me, I should have just went to 13. Isaiah 13 and like 17. It says, behold, I'll stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard the silver, and for their gold they shall not delight in it. And the Medes are the Russians. Oh, I got a precept. It's Isaiah 21:2. A grievous vision is declared unto me. The treacherous dealer dealeth treacherously, and the spoiler spoileth. Go up, O Elam, which are the modern day Persians. Besiege, O Media, which are the modern day Russians. All sighing thereof have I made to cease. So that's what it's talking about. Okay. That's what it's talking about, man. These different nations. Jeremiah 51:2. And I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Exactly. So those fanners, you go and look into it. It's going into these different foreigners, man. Proxy militias that Elam's and Russia is supporting. China's supporting. Okay? And they're gonna be the ones who are gonna help fan this place, bring it to its knees, man. Before the thermonuclear destruction, there's gonna be a fire already kindled here, man. They're gonna help destroy Babylon, okay? Just like when you blow air into a fire, just to increase the fire, the ultimate fire is coming from those thermonuclear missiles, but it's also gonna, before the fires, these fanners are gonna help increase the fire here, bringing this place to its destruction, okay? What's that other precept? 2nd Esdras 15 and verse 30. Also the Carmanians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood. Now the Carmanians are talking about those Iranians. And with great power shall they come and join battle with them, talking about these different Arabians or these different, the dragons of Arabia. okay, which are these different Muslims, because Elam right now, you know, very heavily influenced. Persia's very heavily influenced with the Islamic. It's literally called the Islamic Revolution over there. Okay, and they're gonna join these other Muslim nations to come fight up against the Western nations, and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. And the land of the Assyrians is talking about Israel, and it's also talking about America. Okay, and that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna waste a portion of this place with those thermonuclear missiles. Okay, and then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and that they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them. Then these shall be troubled, bled, and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. So they're going to destroy them. They're going to have the upper hand. So prophecy is on Elam's side, or the Persian side. Okay, so the Lord is dealing with them. All right. It says, however, Sati said, as of, hold on. It says the potential damage of the explosion, the section that exploded was extremely vital to the Iranian regime's survival, Sati said, stressing that if infrastructure important to the IRGC's oil transfer operations or the reception of vital goods was damaged, this could have a significant impact. Because I believe Canadian Prepper was going into it. He was basically saying that these missiles require a specific type of fuel, man, and that needs to be, he goes into it better than I can, but these different containers have some very toxic stuff in there, man. The stuff needed to implement a nuclear missile. I can only imagine what that is. This might be a huge explosion, man. You know, in not just in how big the explosion is or how many deaths, but the environmental impact of it. Okay. There are rumors right now that Iran may have been have been storing missile fuel at the port, possibly imported from China. So that's what he was going into, Canadian Prepper. Missile fuel, whatever that contains, man. So if that's burning, who knows what type of fuel that is and how much of it they actually have. That's at a port. The port goes into the water. So if that fuel gets in the waterways, man, that could be a huge environmental cost. Society was hesitant about determining what the cause. Lucky, I'm all over the place. It says, however, Sati said, as of now, this is just a rumor. The information is still unclear, and we need to wait for confirmation. The Iranian regime may conceal the truth. Sati continued. And they're gonna conceal the truth because you're dealing with the devil, man. Everything's a damn war game. You say I'm telling you, man, it's tough, man. That's why I said it has to be. You can't just neglect the spiritual aspect of these things, man. Because when you read the book of Daniel, the 10th chapter, that's what I'm thinking about. Daniel chapter 10, it says, I'll start at 18. Then there came again and touched me one like the appearance of a man, and he strengthened me. So this is Daniel being touched by an angel, and he was strengthened. And said, O man, greatly beloved, fear not, peace be unto thee, be strong, yea, be strong. And when he had spoken unto me, I was strengthened, and said, let my Lord speak, for thou hast strengthened me. And that's another thing, man. We worry about food and water, okay? But this is just the angel talking to him and touching him, and that strengthened him. Okay. Then said he, knowest thou wherefore I come unto thee? And now will I return to fight with the prince of Persia. And when I am gone forth, lo, the prince of Grecia shall come. Yeah, so this is in between the Persians and the Greeks, man. But I will show thee that which is noted in the scripture of truth. And there is none that holdeth with me in these things, but Michael your prince. So here it is. He said, now I will return to fight with the prince of Persia. Now, was he going to go fight exactly with the prince of Persia? Here it is, an angel talking to Daniel. He wasn't going to go fight with the prince of Persia, man. He was going to manipulate the mind of him to do the heavenly Father's will. Okay? Proverbs 21:1. It says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. And he does that by sending these different angels to go provoke these kings to do his will, whether it be good or bad, but it's all to bring forth his indignation. 1 Kings 22 in verse 19, and he said, hear thou therefore the word of the Lord Yahweh. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the host of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. And the Lord Yahweh said, who shall persuade Ahab, that he may go up to fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. So just like this angel that touched Daniel, telling him, I'm going to go fight with the king of Persia, and with Michael too. And then shall the king of Greece come, or something like that, roughly paraphrasing. Because the Lord's working on the minds of these people. Okay? Esau had to be set up so he can bring forth his indignation now, just like he was doing back then. 1 Kings 22:21, and there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord Yahweh and said, I will persuade him. Exactly. So there's these spirits with the Lord telling him, yeah, I'll persuade him. Yeah, send me. I'll go do it. 1 Kings 22:22, and the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so. Do so on, Salakia. Oh, no, Salakia, and do so. So he gave him the permission. All right. 1 Kings 22:34, and a certain man drew a bow at a venture. So the king went to war at the Ramoth Gilead after being deceived, when you read the rest of the account, and smote the king of Israel between the joints of the harness. So someone drew a bow during the battle, and it struck him. Wherefore he said unto the driver of his chariot, turn thine hand and carry me out of the host, for I am wounded. And the Lord executed, this angel executed, the angels, or however it was manifested, executed the Lord's will down here on the earth. And that's what's happening with these kings today, with Donald Duck, with Daffy Duck, with all these different, the Iranian people, Vladimir Putin, Zelensky, running away from the battle. Okay? It says, however, it says, in any case, there was damage that could prove significant to the Iranian regime's economy, especially affecting the IRGC and the weapons they transfer or receive. So that explosion, man, it says 18 people dead, 800 others injured in port explosion in Iran. That's huge, man. Like I said, whenever this devil talking about peace, he's talking peace with Iran, their port gets blown up. He's talking peace with Vladimir Putin, his general gets destroyed. He's talking peace with Zelensky, now they getting, you can't talk peace with this devil, man. That's why I think Kim Jong-un, he was like, man, as soon as this devil said he wanted to come talk to him, he went from nuclear 3 to 4, something like that. So he knows he's a devil. He actually calls him the devil. But you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans have no clue. 1 Thessalonians 5:1. But other times in the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that that day should overtake you as a thief. Yeah, so some of us already understand all this. This is for you people who don't understand, man, for the elect out there that don't understand this. Okay? But right now, you know what, I might do a video later on this one. But this supposedly is some serial killers in Massachusetts, man. 8 people, 8 women dead. 8 women dead, man. I'll just read the headline. It says, Massachusetts law enforcement warns against online speculation about a possible serial killer. Yeah, there's a serial killer. I would believe it. They said, let's see. I guess I'll read it. The body of a woman was recently discovered on a riverfront bike path in Massachusetts, again fueling online rumors that a serial killer or killers may be targeting New England residents, and they're targeting you women. Since early March, the bodies of 8 people, mostly women, have been found in Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. The most recent discovery was made at 8 a.m. on Tuesday, April 22nd, when officers with the Springfield Police Department responded to calls about an unresponsive person, an adult woman, found near the 1500 block of Hall of Fame Avenue, Springfield. Police Department spokesperson Ryan Walsh said, Boston 25 reports, man. So, hey, man, you women, you need to watch out. All right, you need to go find you a man of the Lord. And we tell you that all the time, but hey, it's getting closer to that time. 8 of y'all are already missing, and y'all still out here partying and like everything's all right. So, hey, good luck. Isaiah 32 and 8. Salaki. Isaiah 32 and 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Yeah, they better give ear to the Heavenly Father's speech, man. If he's putting you women in deaf here in Massachusetts, man, and in Rhode Island and in Connecticut. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. And that's what y'all are, man. Y'all are careless. You're not diligently seeing what's going on in this world, man. You still think you don't need a man. You think you independent. We're gonna see how independent your ass is when Esau starts coming around graping you. All these different troops that he got out here start taking you, man. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Yeah, the gathering shall not come, man. There ain't gonna be nobody's gonna be reaping what's sown, man. This place is gonna be unsown soon. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Yes, you need to tremble. Okay? The times is getting short, man. Ain't gonna be no jobs for you. Ain't gonna be any protection for you in these. And even if you got a gun, you ain't got the might. You ain't got the Lord on your side, man. So you're gonna lose. Be troubled, you careless ones. Yeah, you got to be troubled, man. Because Jacob's trouble's coming soon. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. You're going to lament for the government assistance. The police, you're going to lament for that. You know, the comfort of being a woman in Babylon, that's being taken away. Okay? And we telling you about the ports. We're telling you about these different crimes that are going on locally and globally. So you got to repent, or you're going to die with the rest of these damn women. Majority of you, 2/3 are women. All right? But I'm going to end it right there. Oh, Shalom, King. Yabashim Yashai Barakatah. Shalom, shalom. I'm going to end it right there. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Racha, Kodash. Shalom, Abba Baba, Kwam Yasharala. Shalom, King. Hey, have a blessed day, my brother. And the water for the precepts.